Recently, safety Rayshon Jenkins, who was released by the Seattle Seahawks, has become a strong candidate to join the Lions. His skill set seems to align perfectly with what the team needs right now. Before we dive into the details, take a moment to support the channel by leaving a like. It's quick, free, and helps us keep bringing you the latest updates. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to do so. That way, you won't miss any important news about the Lions. Stick around until the end because we've got plenty of key information coming your way. Let's get started. Jenkins isn't just a good fit for the Lions' defensive style. He also has direct connections with the team's coaching staff, which could make negotiations smoother. With free agency approaching, Detroit has some big decisions to make, especially at the safety position. Right now, Kirby Joseph is locked in as a key player, but there's uncertainty about Brian Branch's role. Will he stay in the secondary, or will he continue as a versatile defender, covering the slot as well? Another question mark is Ifeatu Melifonwu's future with the team. If he doesn't return, that opens up even more room for a new addition. Regardless of how things play out with Melifonwu and Branch, the Lions clearly need more depth at safety. Besides Joseph, the only other safeties on the roster are Lauren Strickland and Morris Norris, both undrafted players still developing their skills. Adding a veteran like Jenkins would bring much-needed experience and reliability, which is crucial for a defense looking to build consistency. From a tactical perspective, Jenkins would fit well into the Lions' scheme. He's an aggressive defender who can pressure the quarterback on blitz plays while also being versatile enough to handle multiple roles in the defense. If Melifonwu doesn't return, Jenkins could be the perfect replacement to strengthen the secondary. Jenkins is a well-rounded safety who excels at stopping the run while also having the versatility to play both near the line of scrimmage and in deep coverage. His skill set makes him a strong candidate for the Detroit Lions, but another factor that strengthens this possibility is his connection with Deshea Townsend, the Lions' current passing game coordinator and defensive backs coach. Over the past 2 years in Jacksonville, Jenkins flourished under Townsend's coaching, improving his game and becoming a key part of the Jaguars' defense. That relationship could play a major role in bringing him to Detroit. From a financial perspective, signing Jenkins also makes sense. He wouldn't require a massive contract and could sign for a deal similar to Justin Simmons's this offseason, around $5.75 million for 1 year. That's an affordable price for a veteran who can step in and contribute right away. With free agency approaching, the Lions need to stay alert for opportunities like this. General Manager Brad Holmes has consistently emphasized the importance of roster depth, and Jenkins could be the perfect addition to strengthen Detroit's defense even further. Thinking back to the 2021 NFL Draft, it was a unique time. Held in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, the draft process was unlike any other. There was no traditional combine, only a few pro days, and limited in-person visits. This made it much harder for teams to evaluate players, unless a team's interest in a prospect was so strong that it became widely known. That was exactly the case with the Detroit Lions and cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. Before the draft, the former Florida State standout had met with the Lions, signaling a high level of interest from the team. It's clear that there was a strong mutual appreciation, but when it came time to make key decisions, General Manager Brad Holmes took a strategic approach. He focused on strengthening the team from the inside out, prioritizing the trenches. With their first 3 draft picks, the Detroit Lions invested in both the offensive and defensive lines, laying a solid foundation for the future. Now, in 2024, the situation looks different. As free agency approaches, the Lions have a chance to reinforce their secondary, and one intriguing option is Asante Samuel Jr. The team faces a crucial decision. Should they spend an estimated $43 million over 3 years to bring in Carlton Davis, or opt for a more affordable, long-term solution? If they choose the latter, Samuel stands out as a strong candidate. His projected 3-year contract of $40 million would save the team money while also adding youth to the roster, as he is 3 years younger than Davis. Samuel's lower price tag is largely due to his injury-shortened 2023 season, where he played just 4 games before being placed on the inactive list with a shoulder injury. However, his performance in the 2 seasons prior with the Los Angeles Chargers proved his talent. During that time, he recorded 11 interceptions and consistently ranked among the league's top 5 in pass breakups. If the Lions bring him in, the impact on their defense could be significant. Samuel could start alongside the promising Tron Arnold, while Amik Robertson would take over as the nickel corner. This move would also allow Brian Branch to shift back to the safety position, where he can maximize his strengths. With free agency heating up, Samuel is definitely a player to keep an eye on. This storyline has been unfolding for quite some time. Since 2023, Chase Young has been repeatedly linked to the Detroit Lions. The idea of trading for Chase Young once made perfect sense. He was a highly regarded prospect, a player who had already shown tremendous potential, and he seemed like the perfect fit to strengthen Detroit's defense. But as time passed, the connection between Young and the Lions began to fade, and looking back, it's easy to see why. Young started his NFL career with a bang. He was named NFL Rookie of the Year and earned a Pro Bowl selection in his first season. His future looked incredibly bright, with many considering him one of the league's top defensive talents. But then, everything changed. In his second season, a devastating knee injury, an ACL tear, completely derailed his progress. Since then, he has struggled to regain the dominant form that once made him one of the most exciting young defenders in the league. When the San Francisco 49ers took a chance on him, trading a 3rd-round pick to acquire him, the hope was that he could rediscover his best self. But that never truly materialized. He failed to make a significant impact in San Francisco, struggling to establish himself as a key part of the defense. By the following season, the 49ers had no interest in bringing him back. Young then had a brief stint with the Saints in 2024. While his performance wasn't terrible, far from it, it wasn't spectacular either. He showed flashes of the player he once was, but it was clear that his days as a rising star were behind him. Now, rumors are once again linking Young to the Detroit Lions. Could he still be a valuable addition, or is he no longer the game-changer he once seemed destined to be? But there's one key difference this time around. If Young was once seen as a potential cornerstone of the defense, now he would be more of a complementary piece. The idea would be to use him alongside Zadarius Smith, rotating snaps and adding depth to the defensive line. This could be a solid fit, but one major factor must be considered: the price. Salary cap expert Joshua Quio estimates that Young could land a 3-year, $45 million contract in free agency. That's not an unreasonable number, especially for a 25-year-old player who still has potential and could thrive in the right system. However, the Lions must carefully assess whether this is the best way to invest their resources. Young could certainly contribute to Detroit's defense, but he isn't the solution. The team still needs to be aggressive in free agency and target players who can truly elevate the roster. If Young joins at the right price, it could be a smart move. But if the cost is too high, it may be better to look elsewhere. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Chase Young potentially joining the Lions? Can he still turn his career around, or is it time to move on? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.